just about to start baling hay, and I baled about 15 bales, 10 bales, but the hay is just a little too moist. So I'm gonna bale the rest of this outer row. I'll bale this outer row here, and then I'm gonna call it quits for the night. It's just a little too wet. It's pretty dry, but a little too moist. So I'm gonna bale this little strip of hay here and call it a night. And we'll just talk about this hay. So, gotta take the brake off, engage it. I'm driving my Farmall 826 as well as using my John Deere 348 baler, model 42 kicker on it, and just one of our old time wagons. So let's fire her up. Time to bale hay. I don't know what that noise is. It's starting to... You hear that noise? If you have any ideas on what that noise is, let me know. So we're going to go around this field and this little outer row, and then we're going to put it in second gear. Look. Baler. Dusk is setting in. It's been a cool day, unusually cool today. Now we're going around the corner, so I'm going to tilt the kicker to the left. Very nice. There's a little more. Just right trying to angle that baler over to the left, and it kicks it right in the wagon. I'm going to straighten that kicker back out. Once again, I'm baling hay in Wisconsin, which is just north. I'm just north of Chicago, about 2 hours, hour and a half. We're in the country, away from the city. Here in Milwaukee, but still far enough away from the city where I can enjoy baling hay. It is a little moist, but we're gonna bale a little bit tonight to get started. So we're gonna hit this row right here. We're gonna have to stop soon because it is getting a little chill out here. Just a little bit too wet for the hay bale. How many of you have ever baled hay on a hot and sunny day? Work. This part of the field is a little thinner, so not too bad. better not put your hand in that. Otherwise, it's bad news. That's all I can say. Now, sorry for picture this picture. There we go. There we go. Back at the tractor. A brand new machine like this will probably cost you upwards of $30,000. I got this machine used, but it was lightly used. The nice thing about this, it has a lot of the bells and whistles, so it's easy to use. I'll show you guys in a second here. I am driving a Farmall International 826. I'm driving. All right, we're gonna wait for one more bale to come out. We're gonna have to stop because it's getting a little too wet. There we go. All right. I have a nice lever in here and it shuts it off. Turn the throttle down. Yeah, the guy who rode up the hay here is F-Wheel Farm Dudes. He's my nephew. He did help me out quite a bit. Now, real quick, let me just show you something here. I can't get my parking brake on. So you don't want to force it in, otherwise you're going to break it. So you just got to move forward or back a little bit. And then you can usually get it in, just like that. Never want to force a parking brake, otherwise you're going to break the pin. We're shutting it off, and we're going to hop out. I'll show you guys what's going on here. All right, so this is my tractor set up here. Got a Farmall 826. It's an older one, built in the 1970s. Got a John Deere 348 baler. And the model on the kicker is model 42. This is my setup here for baling hay. And the hay it's pretty dry, but it was a really cool day here in southeastern Wisconsin, surprisingly cool. It was actually cold. The wind was blowing, and it just made for a really cold evening. Let me just show you guys something kind of neat about this baler. So right here, this is the kicking mechanism. And this pan throws the bales into the wagon. A lot of people get surprised at this kicker baler, but they've been around probably 50 years at least, I want to say. That little handle right there is a trigger. The bale shoots out the end. It hits that little lever right there, and it triggers this piece. And then this PTO shaft kicks the bale up onto the wagon. So that's the process for that. All right. Now, one nice feature of this baler is this PTO shaft right here. I no longer have to hop out of the baler and take it out of road gear. So when I'm traveling down the road, this is pushed in. It pulls it in, and it's tucked nice behind the tractor. If I drove down the road with this tractor right now, I'd be taking up about 15 feet, which isn't the greatest. So that'll tuck it right back in, but I used to have to come out here and pull the front of this baler in, put a pin in, but now I just do it by PTO. So that is seriously very convenient. I'm a lot of times working by myself, as you can see this evening. But for those of you who have never baled or haven't done any baling, the hay is picked up and fed by these tines into the auger. The auger pushes it down into the heart of the machine there, and there's a big drive shaft that just literally slams the hay and packs it in here. All right, the hay gets packed into this chute. Now, we have some knotters here, and it's pretty dusty. These knotters get full of dust, but these knotters are amazing. I mean, Imagine doing this 100 years ago, 150 years ago. They did not have this type of machinery. So these knotters will tie a knot around a complete bale of hay. It's a pretty neat setup. And this is another neat little thing about this machine. Greasing machines are very important. And right here, I pulls out, it's pushed up into the knotters. It's pretty neat. So it greases it by itself. Connection issue there. Let's see here. Hopefully we can get back on. By the way, thanks for all the comments. It's Johnny Cool. You say, how hard is it to manage a farm? I would like to try this life. Do you send cow to slaughterhouse? Honestly, serious question. Yes, that is part of life and being a good steward. We do send cows to the slaughterhouse. It's part of making a living, being good stewards of what God has given us. And I'm alive. Anyway. Yeah, you can do dairy farm, you can do a beef farm, you can do a crop farm. Yeah, there's all sorts of different types of farming here. All right. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to bale this field of hay. I've also got another field of hay right over here that I'm going to show you real quickly. The second crop of hay came in really nicely, actually. And this is just cutting over into the other field here. This is a real nice field of hay. I mean, just jerk beefy one. Yes, it is powerful enough to kick you. All right. So this is the next field of hay that I have to bale tomorrow. And then I have another upper field that I'm going to show you. This is, you say, is this a hard life? Well, it does take work. It does take sweat sometimes, a lot of times. All right, the thing about farming is it's all about timing. You've got to cut the hay when you have the right weather. If you don't cut the hay, then you're not going to get a crop in. If you don't rake the hay at the right time, you're not going to get the hay baled because it's not going to dry out. And I have to cut this hay, rake it, and bale it, and I do it all in about 2.5 to 3 days. I don't want to let it sit on the field, otherwise it loses its nutrients. And this is the next field of hay that I have to bale tomorrow. These are small fields in comparison to some other farmers that have big, huge dairy farms. We don't have a huge dairy farm. We do have about 15 cows, but a lot of this hay I'll sell and make a profit off some of it, which is nice. But hey, it's a lot of hard work. It needs to be worthwhile to me to cut this hay and bale it. Investment in the equipment, machinery. So that's just a little bit of the tour of the fields I'm baling today. I've got about 15 to 20 fields that I bale. In all, it's probably about 60 acres of hay I bale. So it's a decent amount for a guy often working by myself. I do have help unloading hay at times. So this is the field I was baling, but it's a little too wet. I'll lift up some hay here just so you guys can see. It's just about dry. It's nice clover, grass mix. horses, goats, cows, you name it. We'll eat this stuff. So tomorrow, tune in live. Tune in, and I'm going to go live at some point. Just hit that notification bell if you want to know when I go live. I don't do it all the time. It varies from week to week what I'm able to do. But just wanted to show you my setup. Our tried and true Farmall 826 International tractor has been good to us. We've had to do a little bit of engine work on it about 6-7 years ago. But so far, since then, it's been good. And if you have any questions, let me know. When you hunt, it is easier because you fight for food. Yeah, it's about 2 days. Sorry, 2 days. 2 years, really. Oh, before a cow is ready to go to market. So anyway, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in live. We will get busy baling hay tomorrow. See the kicker baler in action, maybe bring back some memories. Sounds like some of you want to come out and help. Hey, I'm always looking for some good help. Good help is hard to come by, though. It does take work to stack a wagon of hay and to keep it neat, keep the rows neat, not making a big mess back here. I'm going to stack this before I leave, probably. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Hope that this was enjoyable for you all. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments after we end the live so that I can see those comments. But until tomorrow, adios. Wait a second, Dishpan Dan, you don't want to try this lifestyle? It is incredibly difficult, nonstop work, lots of uncertainty and setbacks. That is true. That is true. It does take the right person. Obviously, you've probably spoken from experience. Well, thanks for tuning in, all of you. Let's see, Mark, appreciate you tuning in. And yep, my nephew raked these rows of hay here. He did a good job. Cash crop, yeah, it is a cash crop, Ella Daddy. I do sell it, but we also use it for ourselves. All right, let's see here. I'm just reading your comments. Missed some of them. Yep, Farmall 826 tractor. That's what I'm using right there. We do not grow rice, Stone Cold. This is Wisconsin. Appreciate the question, but no, we do not grow rice. There is wild rice, I guess, that grows on the river, Muquanago River, which is nearby here. That's funny. Jerk Beefy, I already answered your question, but yes, the kicker baler will definitely kick you. I try to be so careful around this kicker baler. We have a safety switch that we hit anytime we work on it so it doesn't kick. We've had one person that did get hit in the chest years ago. I don't know what they were thinking. They reached in there. Thankfully, they were okay, but never mess around with the kicker while the PTO shaft is running. All right. And what is the weight limit? If you're still watching the grind, I'm not sure what you mean by the weight limit. I mean, these bales weigh anywhere from 50 to 60 pounds, 40 pounds sometimes, depending on the cut of hay. Second cut hay is typically heavier than first cut hay just because it's more moisture content. Typically, that's a good question though. So thank you all for, okay, what's the price of this machine? The price of this machine is going to be about, used, you're looking at $22,000, around that price. This machine is real nice. It has a lot of things that make it worth that. Your time, you can't buy time. So anything that helps you to save time, I think is worth it. And this baler definitely helps me save time. I can double rake, which means when I cut these rows of hay, these are all rows, about 11-foot swaths, and it drops it into about a 6-foot, 7-foot row. I can take 2 of those rows and easily put it into one row, and this baler will pick up that double row, which is now a single row, which saves so much time. My old baler, it would be struggling to pick up a double raked row, especially a first crop. I mean, first crop hay this year was so heavy, I could never have baled it with my old baler. Not only would the bales all be breaking, but the baler would be not being able to handle it. But this has a double extra